welcome to a very spicy episode of the Video Game Town Hall podcast. I am your host, as always, Jared Russo, the mayor of Video Game Town, and here with me is a man who does not do drugs. He is the drug, Grant Bruner.
Yeah, I'm high on life, everybody. Woo! Grant Bruner.
Woo! Let's just keep saying woo to each other.
Woo! I'm actively editing the document as we speak.
Oh my goodness, you're going to add so many things. So, the first thing we should do, as we always do, is mention our Patreon and our Ko-fi. We're never going to find out how that's pronounced.
Ko-fi, it is pronounced Ko-fi, like coffee. Yeah, Patreon, if you like this podcast, by just spending $5 a month, you can get a bonus podcast every single month. And we have had discussions like, what are the best PS2 games? And who are the creepiest men in video games?
Some of our best work, I would say, today.
Videogame.town/donate. You can get on that Patreon tip. Or, if you don't want to do monthly stuff, you can just do our Ko-fi, just drop us a few bucks. And of course, if you don't have any cash to spare, just leave a nice review or a rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It was a lot better when it was just, you could just say on iTunes, but I'm no marketing genius like the Apple Corporation.
Simpler times. Grant, I have so much excitement for this episode because we're killing two birds with one stone. Instead of offline discussing what our awards are going to be and some potential nominees to put up on the website, maybe let people vote on our Patreon, we're going to do it on air. Which I always found to be the most fascinating way to do Game of the Year discussions is the giant bomb method of just recording it for hours on end. Now, we're not necessarily going to do that, but that ethos I enjoy.
Sure, of vibing it out. So I will say, you hear on the list it says Game of the Year award categories and some nominees. I'm going to go ahead and say we should not be giving nominees because that's kind of like the giving away the game, right? Is like part of the reason why you would click in is to see who's nominated and who wins.
I was just more saying like airing it out, like sort of just trying to peg like, okay, maybe we need some more examples, and I wrote some things down. Like we're not going to actually list any, but just in the spirit, be like, hey, listen. We're going to do an award on the best game world. So what are some of the best game worlds if we're starting from blank? Obviously, I had some examples written down just to sort of get our wheels turning, get us to think about the games of the year. And then there are some where I have nothing. So maybe you would be able to help me out in filling out like what would be a good example of such and such.
Maybe most or best episodic game or best episodic or best episode. So the things that I'm having in mind specifically are Dispatch, which I think is fucking crushing it. And then that kind of game, and Blippo is up there, Lost Records is up there. Like there are multiple games that have that kind of episodic, multi-staged release. And that is something we can think about.
I'm writing all of that down. An award idea I have many. We'll fly through these. I had the Last of Us Part 2 award for biggest disappointment.
This is a backdoor way to dunk on the bits retired, Jared. We can have a most disappointing category, but I will not allow a Last of Us Part 2 memorial award.
What will we call it then?
I think you can call it something like "This shit sucks: the award."
The Fallout 4 award? For biggest disappointment?
Oh my god. I mean, I guess the thing about Fallout 4 for me is that it was not good, but I did not have high expectations. So, it's a little bit of a
Fallout 76 award for... No, I don't know.
I don't think it needs to be named after a game. I think you could just be like, most disappointing game. It doesn't necessarily always have to be a game. It could be like most disappointing moment or like biggest disappointment, and then it can be anything. It could be a game release. It could be fucking EA selling to the Saudis.
I think
or whatever.
Most of the fun I had writing these down were actually naming them, as you'll find out. The names do not have to stick, but I just this is the process. This is the making of the sausage. We're figuring it out on the fly. I definitely think I will have some for biggest disappointment. I don't want to blow my wad too early, so I'll
blow your load.
Yeah, I'll hold the nominees close to my chest or my vest.
Is Blowed Your Load the name of the podcast?
I wish. I'm just going to go ahead and type in here Fallout 76 award for... Okay, great.
Did anybody expect Fallout 76 to be good?
Listen, if I can't name it Last of Us Part 2, then... Gone Home award for biggest surprise.
Huh. I'm trying to think if I've had... I guess I have had some big fuck-off surprises this year. I think I do have... I don't think... I am in favor... Here's what I say. This is not... Like, I think I have to absolutely veto saying Last of Us Part 2, simply because of the retired bit. I'm not going to stamp my feet and say no. But here's what I would posit to you. Is there a more clever way to name that we can have fun in the naming that isn't just slapping the name of an existing video game on it?
Yeah, but as for right now, this is just what I wrote down, so I'm just going to say it out loud, and then we'll get rid of it later.
I definitely think biggest surprise. These are, I will say, we should also probably try to steer away from just doing Giant Bomb.
I also partially worried about that, but I feel like some things they do are theirs, and then some things are almost like too ubiquitous and universal.
Yeah.
So like surprising and disappointing, to me that's like
no, but I will say that I think we should definitely. We also don't want to do too much because we also don't want to have 100 categories. We want it to be manageable.
Well, we'll edit as we go. I mean, you can be like, let's not do that, scratch it off. Let's do that, keep it on. I figured this category was a great place for some indies that came out of nowhere and for some games like Shinobi that I knew were coming. They looked cool. Then I played them and I went, wow, this is surprising and how much better it actually is now that I have it in my hands.
Yeah. I think there was definitely, it was a good year for surprises, I think. Because I also think you were really down on the year in the first half and then things really turned around for you.
I think Dispatch is a contender to win biggest surprise.
It's certainly up there, I think. For me, a lot of it is is there a character that we want to, or a relationship, or is there a smooch of the year? I think that's very on brand for Video Game Town.
Writing that down.
That's the date everything category.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes. Okay. I also have here the Earth Defense Force Award for best 7 out of 10 game.
Sure. I think I understand what you mean, but a game that has problems but is fun as hell to play,
yes.
Enjoyable as hell to play, even though you can't wave away the amount of issues it actually legitimately has, but it is still so enjoyable despite them.
I was thinking of renaming that the bargain bin, but that sounded too derogatory.
Yeah, because sometimes it's not even I would say I think for people who really like Fallout or Bethesda games in general, I think it's kind of even though those games are super expensive, people have a great time with them despite them being kind of junky.
Yeah. I played a couple of really fun 7 out of 10s this year. First Berserker Kazan, Chronos. I feel like we could cobble enough together for that. I have written down the Yharnam Award for Best World.
Best World.
Yharnam being the place that Bloodborne is set.
When you're talking about world, are you talking about the physical space, or are you talking about the setting, which is the cultures, the politics, the everything that comes along with it? Or are you talking about both?
Both.
Okay, because if you wanted to, just the raw world, something like Disco Elysium, I think would be well, there's not in terms of the raw geography, the map is not super interesting. But in terms of a lived-in space that they have built out, what that world looks like, it's fucking incredible. It is a 10 out of 10. I
definitely put this in the intangible sort of way. You know it when you see it. So you could look at how visually stunning and open and realistic Ghost of Yotei is, or you could just look at how much stupid fun Donkey Kong Bonanza is, and both work.
Sure, but when you say intangible, are you all? I guess the thing for me is are you also talking about the non-physical aspects as well?
Well, I have a different award. It's called the Res Award for Best Vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is similar to Best Style, but it's more of a vibe.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah, intriguing,
I don't
isn't
know. I don't know about vibe, because it's also
No?
like, well, here's the thing. Because I also don't think, I wouldn't say, I mean, I think that Disco Elysium has a vibe, but I would 100% award, like, I think that its world building is second to none, but its vibe is a little bit gross. Like,
Well,
it is,
That's true.
like, you're like a puke fest. Like, here's a rotting corpse. Like, the vibes are toxic, is what I'm saying for Disco Elysium. I wouldn't say the vibes are not good. It's like, here's a lot of like alcoholism and depression.
I think a good way of thinking of this is we would give Best World to Death Stranding 2 for the space you get to drive around and the sort of dynamic weather events and how big it is and how interesting it is. But I would give Best Vibe to like Once Upon a Katamari. You know, like I wouldn't like the vibe of like no one lives on the surface and there are like things trying to kill you. Like that's how I would sort of differentiate those two things.
Yeah. I guess here's what I would say. I'm not saying don't do it. I would say that, like, I think we can probably, like, workshop that over time. Like,
Okay.
I think that we could probably have things, because it's also, like, I think most of the time for me, so, like, this is like a Grant problem, or not problem, but, like, a way Grant, like, I just don't think, I can think things look really pretty, and I can think landscapes look really pretty, but I think a lot of the time in an open world, you're just pressing forward. I can see Ghosts of Yotei and say that, yes, they have made this, like, these flowers are very colorful, very beautiful. They have laid out the way things look to look very beautiful. But I'm not like, oh man, when I'm traversing it, I'm having such a great time. I feel like a lot of open worlds are press forward and go to the place you want to go. And that, like, to some extent, fast traveling is better than walking around. I think that there are some counterexamples to that. I mean, Sword of the Sea, I think, is something that would be a counterexample. Like, moving around is the part that's cool, even though it's really beautiful. Or like Red Dead Redemption, kind of the point is walking around and doing stuff.
Well, what if we had Best Locomotion? Maybe it's a little too out there.
Best
All
game
right.
feel.
Ugh, no. I've also written down Best
Why
Map.
are you making that oof sound? What's wrong with game feel?
Game feel. Ugh. Mouth feel. No feeling.
Okay,
Feels
best
okay.
mouthfeel is the category. The games that you put in your mouth.
I wrote down Best Map because I'm a big stickler for UI UX and maps. I want maps in every game. Give me more maps. I love the.
I feel like I have no input on that. I feel like that's a category where I don't give a shit.
Oh well,
like,
the winner's Death Stranding 2 because it's really useful.
It's like best roguelike, and I'm like, oh, fucking who gives a shit?
No,
Like,
we're not gonna do genres.
I guess, but like that's what I'm saying. Where I'm like, I don't really have map feelings. Like, I guess, like, I hate the way that Bethesda lays out worlds and does maps. Like, I hate that. But if it is not to that extent, then I mostly, as long as it is like mostly, or like the Wolfenstein, the newer Wolfenstein games, the machine games, Wolfenstein games, I feel like sometimes the layout of those worlds are really confusing for no good reason.
It's to keep it interesting. I have written down here the Chainsaw Gun Award for Best Weapon in a game.
Yeah, that feels very like a 2000s era, like IGN to me. Like, goodest gun, best butt rock.
Listen, you can kill people with a rubber pizza and pizza karate. I just met the pizza
Or it's
chef.
like the Saints Row the Third, like, dildo bat.
I would give an award to that. We can cut it. It's not a huge deal. I'm just trying to,
Throwing things out there.
Things out there.
But I mean, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it does feel like a little edgelordy, does it not?
I guess so. It depends on how much.
Like,
fun we
maybe
have with it.
if it was more like most creative weapon, and it was like you look at like a Ratchet and Clank type thing, like best improvised weapon.
I wish there was a new Ratchet and Clank every year, so we can just give it to whatever they invent, because they come up with some great stuff.
Because if it's just this shotgun shoots good, it's good,
No.
good shoots.
No,
then
it's
that's
gotta
boring.
be. It's gotta be something.
Yeah, if
Oh,
it's
well, I
like
mean, we can
if
just
it's
axe
if it's stupid, like if it's if it's a dildo bat or like this gun shoots cups of coffee or whatever.
Or rubber pizza.
What's the Rick and Morty game? The Rick and Morty guy.
Oh, High
game?
on Life.
Didn't they have a bunch of fucked up guns?
They had guns that were characters. Like, they would talk to you, they would give you side quests.
They wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Next, I have the Active Reload Award for Best Feature or Mechanic. Oh, you like that one, huh?
Feature or, like, I feel like Best Mechanic is strong. Like, is there a thing that you do that feels really good?
Gameplay innovation.
Or like, yeah. I think that there's something for that. I'm trying to think about examples this year that would work.
Well,
I guess I could immediately think of some stuff.
I can't come up with any for this year off the top of my head, but I will say that last year's winner should have been the Prince of Persia, whatever the fuck it was called, the Lost Crown or whatever, where you could take a photo and pin it to your Metroidvania map, so you can literally see visually why certain parts you had to come back to. And I was like, oh, every game should have this. Like, that's genius.
I also think that there is something to be said for best game to play, like, on the couch or, like, in handheld mode.
Ooh, okay.
Let me tell you, when it is dispatch time, I'm having a great time streaming that from my PS5 to my Steam Deck. But then it is play Bloodlines time. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to play Bloodlines on. I'm not going to play a first-person game on the Steam Deck. I'm going to go sit in front of a monitor.
Intriguing. I'm writing that down, too. Then we're going to get to some, I don't want to say obvious, but the bigger ones that I feel like everyone sort of needs. The Mute City Award for Best Music. Fucking air guitar. Oh.
Okay. I mean, I think that there is a very obvious winner in that category. But sure.
Interesting, because I wrote down a bunch of games.
There are a bunch of games that sound good, but there is one very obvious winner from 2025. Really? Yeah.
All right, so when I say best music, this is so wide encompassing because you have like the bespoke Hades 2 songs, and then you have like the Katamari soundtrack, like the new stuff, not the old stuff. That doesn't count. And then you have like the sort of retro remixes of Donkey Kong, but then you have like the orchestral Clair Obscur. Like you have like a bunch of good contenders, is all I'm saying.
Does just saying, ooh, banana count?
Oh, banana. I mean, should we invent a category so that can win something, that voice line?
I don't know, but it is really good. And you would think that it would get old. You would think that after the sixth time he says, ooh, banana, you would go, all right. But I like hearing it every time he does it.
Honest to God, I've been saying that in my apartment for so long, I'm getting very nasty looks. Aerith Dies Award for Best Moment in a Game.
Best moment, yeah. I mean, I think that I think that there is like an immediate best moment that I can think of.
There's a few.
There are some really great moments, I would say.
Are there any in Dispatch?
Yeah, there's. Dispatch. I mean, I think Dispatch plays in a lot of categories.
I sort of pencil in certain games where it makes sense, including this next one, the Harry Dubois Award for Best New Character.
Ugh. There's a lot of new characters this year. It has been a shockingly good year for not sequels. There have been a fuckload of sequels, but I'm looking at my list and there is only, like my GOTY, my working GOTY list. There is only one game with a number attached, or like a sequel number attached to it.
And is the subtitle of that game On the Beach?
Maybe. Well, I guess we'll see.
Continuing off of that, piggybacking off of that, the Mass Effect Award for Best Story in a Game. It will not be Death Stranding 2. It will not be Death Stranding 2, I'm sorry. Nope.
No, it's not. No, it's not the best story. But maybe, like, dumbest bullshit.
Not a runner-up for any story award. Sorry, Mr. Kojima.
I mean...
Nope.
No, it's not the best story, but it is fun. But no, there are some great examples of that. Or like, is there something that we want to do around like originality? Like something where it's like, this rejects sequelization or something like that? Or like like a refusal to sequelize award.
I mean, that just becomes best debut, which...
Yeah, I guess.
Like, a lot of independent film awards have breakthrough performance, like, first time filmmaker stuff. Like, that's also not old hat, but like it's been done before if we want to go that route.
Yeah.
I demand that we have the Waluigi Award for biggest creep or perv in a game.
So you're saying in the year 2025?
That is correct.
I mean, I do think that is on brand for us.
Thank you.
But do I have... I'm trying to think about... Yeah, yes, I can think of creeps. Because every time you do it, it's like, okay, but what would I pick? And then I'm like, okay, yes, there are creeps to be picked.
There are too many, in fact.
Yeah, and I like that. That's the thing where like we're gonna have to figure out how many of these categories we want to do, because there's like fucking 20 of them, where it's like, okay, well, you can't write out things for 20 individual 20 individual categories.
I have written down here, I only have a few more, the Balatro Award for most impressive achievement. And what I mean by that is, typically, if like a very small team or one man can create something like a Blueprints or a Silk Song, I feel like that should be rewarded.
I really thought you were going to be like best achievement, meaning best Chivo.
No, because I don't think anyone pays attention to those anymore.
I don't know. Sometimes when they pop really unexpectedly, I'm like, yeah, all right. Like, they anticipated me doing this stupid thing. I like that.
I mean, the only one that I can remember is, it happened today, I met the pizza chef, and there was a crazy cutscene of pizza kung fu, and then it gave me an achievement for meeting the pizza chef.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, that's a funny thing to do.
That was like that was the only time where I went, oh, now I get why Grant likes all this dumb bullshit in these games. Like, that was awesome. That was a memorable, fun moment. Every other time, I roll my eyes.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But he was like, his whole life was dedicated to making pizzas, and no one was going to stop him from making more pizzas. And I was like, I understand that ethos. The next two, my final two, unless you want to add any more, I already kind of know who's going to win, but the nominees are infinite. And I feel like the nominees will become a very fun part of the process. This is the Please Shut the Fuck Up Peter Molyneux David Cage Notch Award. And Randy Pitchford is a heavy favorite, let me tell you.
It's Randy Pitchford Try Silence Award.
God damn, is he gonna fucking win for all the dumb shit he said this year. But there's a lot of other jamokes.
Bill Spencer Shut the Fuck Up Award.
Yeah, a lot of other jabronis. Sarah Bond, and there's so many. Every CEO.
Matt Booty Shut the Fuck Up Award. What if it was just the entire Xbox team? Shut the fuck up.
But
Don't say things.
I think the two biggest awards we'll be giving out that I care the most about is Game of the Year and the Claire Obscure Expedition 33 2XKO Award for Worst Name. Now, obviously,
listen,
both of those came out this year, and they're not eligible to win because they're in the name of the award.
Unfortunately, 2XKO, I think, got delayed out. Did it not get delayed out of 2025?
I feel like people are playing... Oh, no, it's 2KO. It's 2KO. It's not 2XKO. It's 2KO. What a stupid name. I have, like, 30 games written down that have horrible names. Like, God damn it, dude. Some of these are fucking insufferable.
Jared, I swear to God if Blippo Plus is on that list.
No. Here are some examples. Tales of the Shire, the Lord of the Rings game.
It's
That's
not
bad.
good. They could have just stopped at Tales of the Shire. That's fine.
No. It's the Lord of the Rings game. Then there's stuff like, there's a lot of these types of names. Love Live! Nijigasaki High School Idol Club, another colon.
No, you can't
all
count
caps.
corny games.
Toki Miki Roadmap to the Future. Why doesn't that count?
What's the horse girl thing? There's a horse girl name,
what the fuck is that horse girl name? Hold on. Horse girl game. Racing one. Umamusume Pretty Derby.
Yeah. Best horse girl.
What about
Horse
Neptunia
Girl?
Riders versus Doggos? That's the name of a game that came out this year.
Ugh. I truly hated Doggo. I hate when I hear people say Doggos and they're being entirely serious. I really, really dislike it.
How about Hyperdimension, one word, Neptunia, semicolon, Birth 2, one word, colon, Sister's Generation.
I mean, that's getting into some Kingdom Hearts type shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. A-train, colon, all aboard, exclamation point, tourism, Nintendo Switch 2 edition.
No, those are not good. I do think it is fun to dunk on bad names. I do think you probably end up cutting a lot of the like generic it's a horny game on Steam or whatever. It's like, yeah, probably that sucks, but it's not worth I think something like Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is like exceptionally bad exceptionally bad in naming. I think that game's incredible, but no, it's bad name.
Romancing Saga, the S and the G are capitalized. Minstrel Song Remastered International.
No, well, so Romancing Saga is just like an ongoing long-term series, exceedingly long-running. So that part is fine. Minstrel Song, no, thank you.
Remastered International.
No, thank you. Hard pass. Do they know the implications of minstrel?
No. And any other awards that you were thinking off the dome?
For me, some of it is best game to play high, but it could also just be best game to decompress to. And I think something like a game that I would want to talk about later, but a Luminous or something where it's okay, you're just gonna sit here and fucking. You want to talk about vibes? That's where you're just I need to fucking chill. And it isn't just about being high, but it's it's a long day. I can't focus on a story, but I want to do something. What's a good game to just fucking chill?
Yeah, I think if we come up with a clever name for turn off your brain or whatever. Man, Tony Hawk is such a good contender for this.
Tune in, drop out. But here's the question about GOTY. We're not going to try to do a site GOTY, are we?
Here are the options. We either have to decide on a site GOTY, we each give our own GOTY, or we just do our top 10s and, move on with our lives.
Yeah, I feel it's so tough, because it's going to be you and me, and also the games that we play, not that there's no overlap, but, I'm going to be hey man, date everything, and you're going to be hey man, this roguelike you've never heard of before in your life. And I'm gonna be no! So I feel like it's way harder because it's basically just gonna be you and me. And our tastes don't super overlap.
That's what makes the show great.
A site GOTY is, I think, gonna be challenging, right?
Alright, so let's just not give one.
Well, I mean, I guess I just want to hear it, if you feel strongly about a site GOTY, then what would be the argument in favor?
No, not really.
Okay, because I also think a thing that they do. I'm trying to think about the way that they do. Have you heard the way the Nextlander does their Game of the Year awards?
Yeah, don't they just each list their top 10?
So they do the top 10 for GOTY, but then they also
the actual awards, it's they have 3 runners up and then a winner or whatever.
Yeah, and I wonder if that model. And obviously not trying to directly copy it, but is there something that we can take from that? Can we do the way that they do it of through a consensus? Because I think what they did is coming out of Giant Bomb. Talking about games is fun at the end of the year. Arguing for hours is not fun.
Yeah, that's why Giant Bomb proper, they just vote. They just straight up vote, and there's just points to their votes, and that's it. They just move on.
I also understand why Jeff was so resistant to it for so long, because there is something to be said about trying to find a consensus, but you do end up taking 8 million years to do it.
Yeah, I think we could just be here are your picks, here are my picks.
Yep.
Great. Now you have two great recommendations, which is a sort of runner-up winner situation anyways.
Which is kind of how we did it at the previous site, is I had a list, you had a list.
Yeah.
It also means that we both influence when we are doing our third list, which is entirely original and in no way like any other place, when we are trying to kind of calculate what the overall pick is based on not every, but very, very many GOTY lists, and try to see what is the overall GOTY, according to the internet.
This is
which
true.
is a spreadsheet I had to make by hand.
I'll help you with that.
I'm pretty into 2 separate lists, and then for all these smaller categories, doing 2 runners up and a winner. How does that sound to you?
That sounds great.
Okay.
Love it.
That sounds, I think, and also I think, like, to some extent, I think some of them, like, best gun is like, or whatever the, like, the weapon of choice, or whatever the wording is. I think those are probably going to be categories that are, like, Jared category.
If I have, like, a really strong feeling towards best gun, but it would be best weapon.
Yeah. Because it could
again,
be,
I can throw a rubber pizza at somebody because I learned
a samurai
pizza
sword.
karate. It could be the jetpack rocket launcher combo thing that you get in Hades 2, where you, like, hover around and, like, launch shit out of your backpack jetpack thing.
Or whatever fucking horseshit they're doing in Fortnite. You dab on someone as Marge Simpson? Is that what we're doing?
I can't deal with, like, keeping up with, like, live service games as if they're, like, games that came out in this year. It's like, no, you didn't. You updated yourself. You came out years ago.
Best patch.
All right. Well, we'll clean this up. We'll get back to it, because I'm not gonna lie, Grant. It's getting to the middle of November, and there's obviously going to be some time for us to take off for holidays. So Game of the Year is sooner than you would think.
Yeah,
in terms of how much time we have left.
Yeah, and I think I'm getting pretty close to, like, the end of the games that, like, I really care about coming out. And so it is like, how much of these games can I finish? Of the extant games, how much of them can I finish before the end of the year? I put 10 hours into Death Stranding 2, but, like, yeah, I would love to put more time into it. There, like, I would enjoy that. I
have to meet the pizza chef?
Will I beat that game? Probably not. I think the answer is probably not. But I liked it a ton. I liked it a ton.
I'm looking at the release calendar. I'm gonna play Blop 7 because I want to do an article on the Call of Duty campaigns, because I played them all. There's a new SpongeBob game, but I doubt I'm gonna get to that anytime soon. Kirby Air Riders, no thanks.
I'll be covering that for the site.
Everyone in my life will go and gaga over it, and I'll still think it's a pile of garbage. There's Marvel Cosmic Invasion, which is a side-scrolling beat-em-up, and Let It Die Inferno.
In my head, it was a card game.
No.
Is there also a Marvel card game coming out?
There's one that already exists. It's called Marvel Snap.
No, not that. I thought it was like a deck builder or something.
I wish. And then Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. That is the one big game that, like, I'm waiting to see if it makes my top 10. Otherwise, my top 10 is sort of fit. Oh, and then Terminator. They fucking delayed Terminator.
But Jared, I think you're underrating Luminous, which is not out as we're recording this, but will be out by the time you're hearing this.
And we'll get a 99 on OpenCritic. Let me stop myself. December 18th, A-Train All Aboard Tourism Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, and Yukio Gensou Kyoku Ensemble RE:R comes out.
Sounds good.
Bad names. They're bad
Jared,
names.
have you played any video games?
I have played Death Stranding 2 a lot. I'm now halfway through that game. I know this because it said intermission, and then it said chapter 8, and I think there's only 16 chapters. And that is...
Are you glad that you jumped aboard the Death Stranding train?
Listen, I've already expressed my feelings. I feel obligated, not even obligated, I feel like it is my duty to make up for last stint. I have to give every Kojima game that came out this year, including my playthrough of Death Stranding 1, Game of the Year. I will be giving 3 Kojima games my Game of the Year.
Yeah, it's good. I like those Death Stranding games quite a bit. Any other games you had down in Death Stranding 2?
Dude, that's literally all I've been playing, and I'm having a ball. I'm just delivering stuff. I'm ranking up these dudes. I'm unlocking stuff. I'm doing my RPG tree of, like, things, and I'm customizing my outfit and my truck.
You're throwing up your creepy little ventriloquist dummy?
Every once in a while, I'll toss him into the sky so I can, like, get a good, view of the enemy base and see where the enemies are. But I'm playing it like MSG5, like I'm playing it like a stealth game, and I'm getting all these, like, cool things with silencers and traps, and my car can, like, sticky cannon pick up packages, and it's got, like, auto guns, and what a blast. What a total blast.
But also, could you imagine if Kojima was allowed to just iterate on, well, one, actually, for real, finish Metal Gear Solid 5 in the first place, instead of shipping whatever the fuck he shipped as, like, an unfinished story. But two, if he was allowed to just iterate instead of having to, like, start from fucking scratch. You imagine how good we would be eating if Konami wasn't dog shit.
Let him make a Splinter Cell game.
Let him do whatever the fuck he wants to do. Make whatever
make
weird...
PT. He needs to make PT, which now stars Margaret Qualley, where before it starred Norman Reedus.
Yeah, that's the Xbox game, right? OD.
I doubt it's coming only to Xbox. I think it's coming to everything else.
But that's the one that they're partnering, like
they're
the
funding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And then you've been playing 1, 2, 3. You've been playing a bunch of stuff.
Some of them are things I watched, and I just wanted to shout out. Dispatch episodes 5 and 6. By the time you're hearing this, the whole game is out, including episodes 7 and 8. But as we're recording this, only 5 and 6 are out, or 1 through 6 are out. It is continuing to hit, and here's what I will say: it is doing what you really want in a story-based game, which is that like there is like meaningful character development, and like not. I think that you could probably say like make faces in the way that many people make faces, that like choices you make, whether or not that they have like the biggest impact on the game. I think that there are absolutely choices you make that impact it. Like one of the times you're just like you're picking to fire someone, so like that is a thing that happens in one of the episodes. But I think from a storytelling perspective, like there is like it is a dramedy, I guess you would probably say, because like there is like real like pathos happening, but it's also like humorous at the same time. People are changing over time. Characters, like there are stakes, and I think that they're executing at an extremely high level. I also, to some extent, where it's just like I think it's really good and probably in its optimal form as a video game, and I think that it is sold really well for like this class of game, which is to say, not like a AAA fuck off Call of Duty type game. They crossed over 1 million sold, which is very good news. But it's also like so much of it is animated, like the cutscenes are animated, where it's just like to some extent where it's just like I wish that they also like had an animated thing. They would reach so many more people if they just had like an animated show or whatever, where it's like this is really good and I like that it is interactive, but I also wonder if this is even like if they would do even better if they also had like a animated TV show.
I need to fucking play this game, man. I don't know when I'm gonna have time.
It's good, and it's relatively short. You can fit that in between COD rounds or what the fuck ever.
Hey, that insinuates that I still play multiplayer games, which I very clearly do not anymore.
Luminous. I'm so excited for Luminous Rise that I did play some of the Luminous Remastered. I am all the way hyped on Luminous Rise because I love Tetris Effect with my whole heart. And I played the Luminous Arise demo, and it was killer. And I am very excited about that. And I will check in next week with Luminous Arise, and I will talk to you about whether or not that game lives up to my very, very, very high expectations. And I'll say Bloodlines 2, the world has opened up. I'm doing more exploration of the city, and I have unlocked a lot more powers and stuff. And I will say, I think overall, the combat is pretty fun. I see where people can be frustrated at the lack of, like, dynamicness, or, like, you're going to be fighting a lot of the same enemy and seeing the same animations play out. And so you go, like, oh, if they had actually had, like, 2x, 3x, 4x, the resources, they would be able to flesh that out more. They would be able to do a lot more different animations. You'd be able to see a lot more different enemies with different strategies. I think that the actual movements to attack, I think, feel good, but I can see how people would get really tired of it if they're coming in there and they want it to be a combat forward game. I can see why people would probably get bored with it well before the game is over. So I get it, but I think I'm having a good time. Here's what I would probably say: just crank that down to easy and blow through the combat and enjoy the story. Is how I would probably say to how to enjoy Bloodlines 2.
Remember when they made immersive Sims?
They did used to make them.
God, those are the fucking greatest.
And we had a renaissance. We had Dishonored, and we had fucking Prey.
Deus Ex.
It was incredible. Those are the video games I've been playing. Jared, are you a Satoshi Kon person?
Remind me who this person is.
So, like, he's the animation, like, a director of animated movies, primarily. So, like, Paprika is the one, because that's, like, very much the movie that people are like, oh, Christopher Nolan just stole Paprika for Inception.
Yes. I think I was shown some clips from
Perfect
that in
Blue,
a class in film school.
Millennium Actress.
Okay, yeah, then I'm aware of him, yes.
So he died very tragically young, and he did one anime series and then 4 movies. Incredible animation, but it's also incredible animation on a budget where it's you look at these movies and you're like, he made this whole ass movie that's really beautifully animated, and it was $3 million. And it's but how? But how did you do that? It doesn't seem physically possible. You made this 10, 15 years after The Little Mermaid, and they were spending Disney was spending $40 million on that. How the fuck are you making this thing and it's $3 million? How? I literally don't know how.
Crunch.
Yeah. Tokyo Godfathers is very much a realistic, down to realism, where it's grounded in reality, and it's obviously things are exaggerated because it's a story, but it's not. The rest of his oeuvre is very much deals with you're going in and out of dream logic and things like that. You're going into things that don't exist in the real world, and this is pretty much you could make this movie live action if you wanted to, but he's obviously a very much a animation forward person. And Tokyo Godfather is just a really fun Christmas movie. And I was trying to expand my Christmas movie list because I have it's Christmas season, as we're getting there, and I was trying to expand the movie, kind of my go-to movies for Christmas, and I got my wife to watch Tokyo Godfathers, and we both enjoyed it heartily. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Satoshi Kon and Tokyo Godfathers. I would recommend it. It's a heartwarming tale. And the other thing that I just wanted to give a shout out is I remember really liking Aqua Teen Hunger Force from when I was much younger, 20 plus years ago, and I wanted to watch it. I got the DVD collection, and started ripping those to my Plex server, and I watched most of the first season, and not all of it holds up, but I do think that some of the absurdist humor definitely does hold up. So it is a little bit of a mixed bag, but Aqua Teen Hunger Force is something that Grant from 20-some years ago really enjoyed.
It's so interesting to me that I was there for C-Lab and Space Ghost and Brack, and then skipped the Aqua Teen Hunger Force section of the Metalocalypse and whatever was around that era, and then I came back on board for Eric Andre show.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen some Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but at no point did I think I was yeah, this is my show.
It was my jam. It was totally my shit. I was exceedingly into Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I also really think that first movie was really good. And obviously it was weirdly in the news because somebody had the bomb threat, and that was really weird because of the Moonanites. But no, it was I'm having a good time so far, but there are some specific in the way that when you and I were watching the X-Files, you go oh, this was made in a different time.
Grant, speaking of games made in a different time, let's do a quiz.
Yes.
Recently, the Video Game History Foundation found a CD of unapproved, unused, and rejected voice lines from MLB Slugfest 2003 that Major League Baseball said, you can't put that in the game. You can't have the announcer say these terrible things. And they are hilarious. Now, what I did was I wrote them all down.
Mm-hmm.
Then I wrote a bunch of my own. And the game is for you to guess which of these were real voice lines that were recorded and then cut, and which ones were jokes that I wrote.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, the way we're going to do it is I'm going to write your answers down, and then at the end, we're going to reveal which you got right and which you got wrong.
Oh, okay. Brutal.
Here we go. I'm going to try to do my best because these guys had very funny accents. Okay. Quote, a lot of families in the ballpark. You know, Tim, that's good because my family was murdered.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Was that real?
Okay. I thought
Or was that...
you're not giving me two. You're saying for each line. It's not.
Yes.
I'm not picking between a Jared and a real game. Each line, I'm saying, is this a Jared or a game? I'm going to say that's a legitimate game.
Enjoyed some smoked whale meat up in the booth today. I don't really care for it, but I can't stop eating it.
Game.
I'll tell you what, Tim. This guy should be beaten to death with baseball bats.
Jared.
For context, Jimmy and Tim are the two announcers. He'll want to kill himself after this game.
Game.
I'd throw myself in traffic after this game.
Ooh. Jared.
I'll tell you what, Tim. After this game, he's going to go get drunk.
It's pretty funny. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. That's the funniest line that I've heard so far. I think you wrote it.
Would you hit me in the face? I mean it. Just hit me as hard as you can right now in the face. Do it now, Tim. Hold on. Let me put my ring back on. Hold on a second, Jimmy.
I gotta say that's the game.
Tim, did I tell you I got hit by a car last night? Oh, is that what that was, Jimmy? Boy, the whole time I thought I hit an aardvark or something. It made quite a sound. I didn't realize that was you. Jimmy, you should stay off that highway at night.
I don't think that you would write Aardvark. So I'm gonna say game, even though it's absurd that would be recorded. It is absurd that would happen. But I don't think you would write Aardvark.
Jimmy, I tell you what, I took my grandson to the circus the other night. Yeah, some clown caught on fire. Only time I ever laughed at a clown. I didn't know if it was a part of the act or not, but it was funny.
Jared, noted clown hater.
The final one. We want to say get well to our audio man, Bob Slauman. Bob, you may recall fans, he was electrocuted 2 nights ago here at the booth. He's listening to us now in the hospital. God, Tim, he just went up in flames, you know?
I'm gonna go game, and so before you reveal anything, something hit me halfway through, and I want to make a guess now, before you reveal anything. Are these all lines from the recording, and you didn't write anything?
These are all lines that were cut from the game, and I didn't write a single one of them.
Okay, see, I figured it out before the end, right?
You did it. I'm so flattered you thought it was me a couple of those times.
Some of them are really funny.
When you listen to the audio, there's a Blue Sky post that has them. It is so much funnier than I could have ever done. And their commitment is like, and of course MLB listened to them and went, you can't put that in the game. And the game looks like crap. Like it's some like bad early GameCube era baseball game. But it is so funny. Those two guys doing the voice acting. Well, that's the show. That was it. We did it. That was a fun one.
Want to talk about some stuff that you wrote for the site?
Sure. I mean, I don't know how the hell else we're going to follow up this podcast in the weeks to come unless we just straight up do Game of the Year stuff. Things that I wrote on the site. I wrote about Chronos. You wrote about Taskmaster. We streamed old random Nintendo games. I went
Disney
to Universal. Disney World rides. Who knows what will be coming up on the website, but by the time you're reading it, a bunch of great stuff.
Yeah, I'm definitely also going to try to, if I can, it's kind of like my thoughts about the entire season of Dispatch. I don't know if that will be out by the time this comes out, but it is certainly something that I intend on doing. And I'd also like to do, so we're probably going to stream, when you're hearing this, the most recent VOD will be Luminous. We're going to play some Luminous Arise on stream.
Wonderful. Thank you for listening. Like, rate, subscribe, tell your friends, blah, blah, blah. We did that at the start.
Hit the bell.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.